7 fatal morning mistakes that are quietly destroying your health. After 70, have you ever wondered why some elderly people suddenly fall ill for no apparent reason? What if I told you that small morning habits could be causing irreversible damage to your body? What would happen if you found out that your morning routine is secretly reducing your life expectancy? This morning, a 72-year-old lady passed away unexpectedly. The cause? A mistake she made without even realizing it. Something so common that many people over 70 years old do every day. The truth is that as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to small habits that seemed harmless when we were younger. And unfortunately, these seemingly small choices can pile up in ways that put our health at serious risk. In this video, we're going to explore 7 morning mistakes that could be putting you in danger without you even realizing it. These are errors that can affect your heart, your circulation, your balance, and even your brain function. Worse, most people over the age of 70 make at least one of these mistakes every morning. But the good news is that once you're aware of them, they're easy to fix. And avoiding them can mean the difference between a healthy active life and a serious medical emergency. Stay with me until the end, because the last mistake is one that almost no one talks about, but it is one of the most dangerous. Many seniors don't even realize they're committing it, but it can significantly increase the risk of falls, dizziness, and even heart problems. You won't want to miss it. Let's get started. 1. The invisible danger. When your muscles betray you. When you wake up. One of the most dangerous mistakes you can make first thing in the morning is underestimating the impact of morning stiffness. Many people wake up, feel a little tension in their joints, and assume that it's just a normal part of aging. They keep moving quickly and don't think much of it until one wrong step leads to pain, injury, or even a serious fall. While you sleep, your muscles and joints become stiff due to reduced movement and circulation. This is especially common in older adults, as the body naturally produces less synovial fluid. This is the lubricant that keeps the joints moving smoothly. The result? When you first wake up, your body isn't quite ready for action. If you get up too quickly, turn incorrectly, or take an unsteady step, you're putting yourself at unnecessary risk. Think of a morning when you got out of bed and felt that familiar stiffness in your back, knees, or shoulders. Maybe it disappeared after a few minutes, or maybe you ignored it as nothing serious. Ignoring morning stiffness day after day can lead to bigger problems down the road. Limited mobility, chronic pain, or worse, a sudden injury that could have been prevented. Consider someone like 78-year-old Walter, who has always considered himself quite active. When he woke up stiff, he just moved on. Then, one morning, while on his way to the bathroom, he took a step, lost his balance, and fell his hip. That single moment led to months of recovery, all because he hadn't taken a few extra minutes to warm up his body before moving. The good news is that preventing this error is simple. Before you even sit up in bed, take a few moments to wake up your joints. Start with gentle movements. Move your fingers and toes, rotate your ankles, straighten your arms. Then, while you're still lying down, do some knee raises or slow leg movements to loosen your hips. Once seated, roll your shoulders, take a deep breath, and engage in light stretches before standing. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it makes a huge difference. A few extra minutes of gentle movement can mean the difference between feeling sluggish and unsteady versus starting your day with confidence. But are muscles the only system that needs attention right after waking up? Discover in the next topic an error that may be directly affecting your digestive system and causing problems that you can't even imagine. 2. The death trap. In your cup, what fasting coffee is doing to your body. For many people, the morning doesn't officially start until they've had their first cup of coffee. It's a routine that's been in place for decades. Wake up, pour a fresh cup, and start your day. But here's the problem. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach can be one of the worst things you do to your body, especially after your 70s. When you wake up, your stomach is empty, and your body is in a delicate state. Your blood sugar levels are low, your digestive system is just starting to function. Your levels of cortisol, your body's natural stress hormone, are at their peak. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach can raise this cortisol even higher. This can lead to increased stress on your body, digestive discomfort, and even long-term problems like acid reflux or stomach irritation. If you've ever had a cup of coffee in the morning and felt agitated, dizzy, or even a little nauseous, it's your body telling you something. The acidity of coffee can irritate the lining of an empty stomach, leading to indigestion, acid reflux, or heartburn. And for older adults, who may already have more sensitive digestion, this irritation can become a daily problem without you realizing it. Coffee is a wonderful beverage with many health benefits, but the moment you consume it can turn a healthy ally into a silent enemy for your digestive system. Consider someone like Robert, 75 years old. He started every morning in the same way. Black coffee first, food later. He didn't think any of this until he started experiencing acid reflux more often. At first, he blamed spicy foods or aging, but after talking to his doctor, he discovered that drinking coffee before eating was putting unnecessary stress on his digestive system. He started making a small snack, something light like a banana or a handful of nuts, before his coffee. Within a few weeks, the discomfort improved significantly. The key here is not to give up the coffee, it's to adjust the moment. Having a small snack before your first cup helps neutralize acidity, stabilizes blood sugar levels, and reduces the stress response in your body. If you're someone who wakes up and immediately reaches for the coffee, try changing the order. Even something as simple as a few cookies, a slice of toast, or a piece of fruit before your coffee can make a big difference. And if you've ever noticed that coffee makes you anxious or more agitated than usual, eating ahead can help balance that out. Caffeine on an empty stomach is absorbed quickly, which can cause a sharper spike in energy followed by a crash. Eating first helps slow absorption and provides a more steady boost, rather than a sudden jolt followed by a drop in energy. So before you take that first sip tomorrow morning, ask yourself, have I given my body something to work with? And speaking of taking care of an empty stomach in the morning, did you know that there's another common habit that may be turning your medications into a hidden danger? 3. Morning time. Bomb. How your medicines can turn into poison on an empty stomach. A critical mistake that many people over the age of 70 make is taking their morning medications without any food in their stomachs. This seemingly harmless habit can turn medications that should be helping you into something that is silently harming your body. Several medications commonly prescribed to the elderly are designed to be taken with food, and there is an important reason for this. When you take certain medications on an empty stomach, they can directly irritate the stomach lining, causing nausea, heartburn, or even ulcers over time. In other cases, a lack of food can affect the way the drug is absorbed by your body. Some medications need the fat present in food to be properly absorbed, while others can be absorbed very quickly without food, causing unexpected side effects. And for people taking multiple medications, the interaction between different pills on an empty stomach can amplify the adverse effects. Think of the case of 73-year-old Mary, who always took her blood pressure medication immediately upon waking. She often felt dizzy about 30 minutes later, but never made the connection to her morning habit. The simple act of consuming a small meal before taking medication can be the difference between an effective treatment and a host of unpleasant or even dangerous side effects. When his doctor finally asked about his medication routine, he explained that that particular medication was causing an abrupt drop in blood pressure when taken without food. The solution was simple. Maria started eating a small banana or toast before taking her medicine, and the morning dizziness disappeared almost immediately. This problem is particularly important for medications such as anti-inflammatories, certain antibiotics, thyroid medications, osteoporosis medications, and various medications for diabetes and high blood pressure. They all have specific instructions on when they should be taken in relation to meals. If you're currently taking any medication in the morning, check the instructions or talk to your pharmacist. Ask specifically if your medications should be taken with food, and if so, what type of food works best. In some cases, even a light snack, such as yogurt, can make a big difference. And if you take multiple medications, ask your doctor or pharmacist to review your schedule. They can help organize your medications in a way that minimizes any stomach irritation or problematic interactions. Remember, your medications were prescribed to improve your health, not to create new problems. Taking a few minutes to consume something light before your morning meds can protect your stomach and ensure that you get the full benefit of your treatments without the unnecessary side effects. And speaking of essential care in the morning, there is another habit that is leaving your body in a state of alert, and you don't even realize it. 4. The silent killer. Why morning dehydration is hurting your heart. One of the most overlooked but dangerous mistakes people make in the morning, especially after age 70, is not drinking water right after waking up. You may not think of hydration as urgent first thing in the morning, but after hours of sleep, your body is in a state of mild dehydration. And for older adults, this can have serious consequences. While you sleep, your body continues to function. Your organs work, your lungs breathe, and your body loses fluids through breathing and sweating. When you wake up, your blood is slightly thicker, your circulation is slower, and your body is operating with a small deficit. If you don't replenish this fluid quickly, it can contribute to problems such as high blood pressure, poor circulation, and even an increased risk of stroke or heart attack. Think about how you feel in the morning. Do you wake up with a dry mouth? Do your joints feel a little stiff? Maybe your energy levels seem lower than they should be, or you notice that it takes a while to feel fully awake. Morning dehydration affects every system in your body, from your cognitive function to your cardiovascular health, making it one of the most underestimated risks for people over the age of 70. These can all be signs of dehydration, and if your first drink of the day is coffee instead of water, you may be making the problem worse. Consider someone like 76-year-old Jaime. He had a habit of waking up and going straight to his breakfast. It was his routine for decades, and he never thought twice about it. But as he got older, he began to experience occasional dizziness and brain fog in the mornings. His doctor told him to try to drink water as soon as he woke up. Within a few weeks, he noticed a difference. He felt more alert, his headaches became less frequent, and his energy levels improved. Water is essential for keeping your blood flowing properly, helping your kidneys function efficiently, and reducing the strain on your heart. Drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning helps kickstart your metabolism, rehydrates your organs, and gets your circulation working as it should. And for those who have trouble with digestion, morning hydration can help keep things running normally. If you're someone who doesn't normally drink water in the morning, start with something simple, a small glass right after waking up. Keep it next to your bed if that makes it easier. And if you prefer warm drinks, warm water with a squeeze of lemon can be a great alternative. Your body has worked hard overnight and needs adequate hydration to function at its best. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So, make it a habit to start your morning with water. Your body will thank you for it. Speaking of morning habits, did you know that the first thing many seniors do when they wake up may be damaging their brain on a daily basis? 5. Luminous enemy. How your phone is sabotaging your health right at dawn. An increasingly common mistake that older people make, often without realizing the impact, is to check electronic devices immediately upon waking. This seemingly modern and harmless habit can have surprisingly serious consequences for your brain health and hormonal balance. When you wake up, your brain is in a sensitive state of transition between sleep and wakefulness. At this critical time, exposure to blue light emitted by smartphones, tablets, and computers has a powerful effect on your circadian rhythm. This artificial light tricks your brain into thinking it's already noon, when it might only be 6 in the morning. For people over the age of 70, whose sleep already tends to be more fragmented, this jolt of blue light upon waking up can completely disrupt sleep patterns for the rest of the day. In addition, the flood of information, notifications, and stimuli that accompanies checking your device creates an immediate spike in cortisol, the stress hormone. This artificial increase in stress right after waking up can raise your blood pressure, increase anxiety, and create a feeling of mental agitation before you even get out of bed. Consider the case of 75-year-old Anthony, who developed the habit of checking the news on his tablet every day as soon as he woke up. Morning checking of electronic devices creates a state of hyperstimulation in the elderly brain, just when it most needs a smooth and gradual transition into the day. He began to notice that despite sleeping an adequate number of hours, he continued to feel mentally tired during the day. His concentration was worse, and he experienced frequent headaches that seemed to start first thing in the morning. When his neurologist suggested a morning digital diet, Anthony was skeptical. but agreed to put all electronic devices aside for the first hour after waking up. In just 2 weeks, he noticed a noticeable difference. He woke up feeling more rested, his mind seemed clearer, and the morning headaches all but disappeared. The solution to this modern problem is surprisingly simple, but it requires discipline. Establish a personal rule of no screens in the first hour. Instead of immediately reaching for your smartphone, develop a morning routine that nourishes your brain in a more natural way. Look out the window for natural light, do some light breathing exercises, or quietly enjoy a coffee or tea. If you use your phone as an alarm clock, consider investing in a traditional alarm clock to avoid the temptation to check other things while turning off the alarm. For those who worry about missing important information, remember, the news, emails, and messages will still be there an hour later, but you'll approach them with a more balanced and prepared mind. This simple habit change can significantly improve your mental clarity, decrease anxiety, and even help regulate your sleep cycle in the long run. And it's not just your mental health that's at risk first thing in the morning. Your physical body also faces a danger that many are unaware of. 6. The 3-second move that can land you in the hospital. The mistake of getting up too fast. One of the most dangerous things you can do in the morning is something that seems completely harmless: getting out of bed too quickly. You may not think twice about it, but for older adults, this simple habit can lead to dizziness, sudden drops in blood pressure, and even dangerous drops. As we age, our circulatory system doesn't adjust as quickly as it used to. When you've been lying down for several hours, blood pools in your lower body. If you sit down or stand up too quickly, your blood pressure may drop sharply. This is called orthostatic hypotension and is the reason why so many people over the age of 70 experience morning dizziness or a lightheaded feeling. Think about the last time you got out of bed. Did you feel a little off balance for a few seconds? Maybe your vision was slightly blurry, or you needed to steady yourself for a moment before taking your first step. This critical moment of imbalance when getting up too fast can be the trigger for a fall that completely changes your quality of life and independence in a matter of seconds. This is a sign that your body wasn't ready for the sudden move, and if you're not careful, this moment of instability can lead to a dangerous fall. Consider a man like Edward, 74 years old. Every morning, he would wake up, swing his legs to the side of the bed, and get up immediately. He never thought much of it until one morning, when he passed out for a split second and lost his balance. Fortunately, he fell into bed, but it could have been much worse. That's when he realized he needed to change the way he started his day. The solution is simple, yet powerful. Instead of jumping out of bed, follow a 3-step process. First, when you wake up, take a few deep breaths and wiggle your fingers and toes. This helps stimulate circulation. Second, slowly roll to the side and gradually sit down, keeping your feet on the ground. Third, before you stand, take a moment to steady yourself. Move your ankles, stretch your arms, and give your body a few seconds to adjust. It may seem like a small change, but this simple habit can drastically reduce your risk of dizziness, imbalance, and falls. And as you probably already know, falls are one of the great dangers for older adults, leading to broken bones, hospitalizations, and even long-term mobility problems. So, if you have a habit of getting out of bed too quickly, rethink your morning routine. Those few extra seconds in bed might just save your life. Our journey through morning mistakes is almost complete, but there's one last sign that many seniors overlook that may be the most important of all. 7. Ignored body alarms. Critical signals your body emits in the early hours of the day. One of the most dangerous mistakes that people over the age of 70 make is to ignore the warning signs that the body emits in the early hours of the morning. Many older adults dismiss major symptoms as simple aging nuisances, when in fact they can be crucial indicators of underlying health problems. The first few hours after waking up are a particularly valuable diagnostic period for your body. During sleep, your system is in a state of relative rest, with fewer external influences. When you wake up, your body is essentially rebooting its systems, and any anomalies at this time can be especially clear signs that something isn't working properly. Morning symptoms such as chest pain, shortness of breath when standing up, unusual mental confusion, extreme stiffness in the joints, or severe headache upon waking up should never be ignored. These are not simply normal inconveniences of aging, but potentially serious signs that deserve medical attention. Consider the case of 76-year-old Teresa, who for weeks experienced a tightness sensation in her chest in the early hours of the morning. She attributed this to age and poor posture during sleep. Your body is a sophisticated monitoring instrument, designed to send alerts when something isn't working properly, and the morning is the time when those signals are often clearest and shouldn't be silenced. When she finally mentioned these symptoms to her doctor during a routine checkup, tests revealed a significant blockage in a coronary artery that required immediate attention. The cardiologist explained that the morning symptoms were particularly significant because the body is under a unique stress during the transition from sleep to wakefulness. Another example is 73-year-old Carlos, who noticed a tremor in his hands that was particularly pronounced in the morning but subsided throughout the day. He dismissed it as morning jitters, but when he finally saw a neurologist, he was diagnosed with the early stages of a treatable condition that, if left unattended, could have progressed much more quickly. The key to avoiding this mistake is to develop a brief morning personal checkup. Take a few moments right after waking up to mentally examine how you're feeling. Are there any new or different pains? Is your breathing normal? Are you thinking clearly? If you notice anything unusual, especially if it persists for more than a few days, document it and share it with your doctor. Don't wait until symptoms become severe or constant throughout the day. Many medical conditions respond best to early treatment, and recognizing these morning signs can literally save your life. Remember, knowing your normal body is the first step to recognizing when something isn't right. Aging brings changes, certainly, but significant pain, confusion, or other worrisome symptoms are never simply part of getting old. Now that you know these signs, you can be aware of them and take action when necessary, ensuring more years of good health and independence. As we conclude this video, take a moment to think about your own morning routine. Have you ever made any of these mistakes without realizing it? The truth is, the habits we build in the morning set the tone for the rest of the day. And after the age of 70, these habits become even more important. A strong, healthy morning routine isn't about making drastic changes. It's about small adjustments that protect your body, keep your mind sharp, and ensure you start your day feeling your best. Whether it's taking an extra moment before you get out of bed, prioritizing hydration, being mindful of how you drink your coffee, avoiding electronic devices as soon as you wake up, taking your medications correctly, making it easier to move, or paying attention to your body's signals, these small changes add up. Over time, they can mean the difference between staying active and independent, or facing unnecessary health risks. Many people assume that health problems in old age are inevitable, but this is not entirely true. The choices you make every day, especially those early moments of the morning, have a big impact on your longevity, energy levels, and overall well-being. The key is awareness. Now that you know these 7 common mistakes, you have the power to avoid them and take control of your mornings in a way that supports your health for years to come. What caught your attention the most? Which of these morning habits do you think you need to adjust? Or which one do you feel like you're already doing correctly? We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned today and how you plan to put it into practice in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create quality content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.